I know have Ramon Chavez come in as well as far as to kind of give us a little update on the subdivision and being built there, Las Islitas. But so we could just kind of make it informal and just kind of discuss and y'all appreciate y'all being here.
Yeah, we'll let them talk first, that way.
Yeah.
I know you have to be.
Yeah, about 12:45. Okay, let me see what I can. 12:45, thank you.
I got one here. So yeah, we'll just keep it a general discussion and then they can vote on and then we'll take notes now, that way we can relay the message that finance and CBB and Ramon Chavez on his way as well, so. And then we'll just relay the message for, we don't have a meeting next December, right?
No.
So
So we have to
January,
discuss
and then-
a date for January.
And then I also got a couple of things that we asked for that I'll bring up as well, so we just kind of discuss that and just kind of give it on the, okay. Good to start. Ya se presentaron, ¿no? I don't know if you want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah. I'm Joel Vasquez. I'm the sales manager for the Laredo Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Hi, Selena Villarreal, Marketing Manager at the CBB.
Jose Magaña from the City of Laredo Finance Department.
Nayeli Martinez, the CEO of Laredo Accountants.
Correct, well, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself, tell me who you represent.
Joaquin Rodriguez, I was appointed by Councilman Bali.
Mr. JJ Gomez, I keep on saying action, I just became the director on Friday for Parks and Rec Department.
Louis Pellegrin, District 3. Dennis Gutierrez, General Manager of the Max.
Roberto Mancha, District 2.
Tony Martinez, I'm District 6.
Okay, thank you all. Again, thank you all for being here. As you know, we don't have a quorum, so we will discuss, but we can't take any action towards anything. We'll make it informal, and that way if you all have any questions that we want to bring up to the next meeting, we'll bring it up and, be more than glad to. I did invite, like I said, Ramon Chavez, as far as an update on the subdivision there, and then also, Dennis can speak as well, so. Joel, I know you all can you mind starting as far as, what the plan, I think Eileen was here last time, cuando vino.
Yeah.
As far as the marketing is concerned, what can we do with the CBB, or what's going out there, in the future for the
Okay.
Max?
So I'll touch a little bit of what we're doing, and then Selena could touch a little bit more on the advertising and stuff. But we recently, together with Dennis, we hosted Mike Richmond he has a
Texas
TV
Golf
show.
Insider.
Yeah, Texas Golf Insider.
And ESPN Radio.
And ESPN Radio. So he was here. We actually brought in some people from San Antonio. So we did a kind of like a little fam. We're working on another fam that we're gonna do by the end of this month, and it's all winter Texans. So it's Dennis does a good job. He travels with us, in fact, to McAllen, and then they do a great job of doing an outreach to all the RV parks that have golf courses and the ones that don't have a golf course. So we been very fortunate that Dennis has brought a lot of buses of golf tours, throughout the years. I think he normally does 2 or 3 a year. And so we went, we did a promotion there for the Connection Fair and McAllen. That event, it's all the RV directors or program managers. They're the ones that set up all the schedules for every RV there in the Rio Grande Valley. And so we meet with everybody, and Dennis goes, Fab, and we give out, a basket, and we raffle a lot of stuff. So it's the first event that we connect to them. And then this year, compared to in previous years, we're doing a fam where we're gonna bring some of the golfers that Dennis sees potential of them bringing, golfers that could come in and play throughout this between December all the way to March. Some of them leave until April. So we're gonna work on that fam. In January, we're doing the Winter Texan Expo. That's where we get about 5,000 to 10,000 people that come in to that at their convention center. And again, Dennis and Fab have gone to that event. We promote the golf course, our city, the birding festival, WBCA. There's so many events that we promote, and then he goes out and recruits more people for bus tours. So that's on the event side of the things that we're doing. So we are constantly promoting. We see the importance of the golf course, especially on this months that are coming up, it's good for birding as well. So we do a cross promote not only for golf, but for birding as well. And they do have a fee that birders pay for the using the card.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
They use the card.
Yeah, so, you know, they make a little bit of money, and obviously it's a good location for birding as well. So those are the events that we're doing to bringing in, you know, more, promoting more of the Max. And Selena, she handles all the marketing, so she could talk a little bit more on what we're doing on the advertising side.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can tell you all that we have a really great partnership with Dennis and the team at the Max. They're very hands-on. You know, I really like, and I can see that they're proactive instead of reactive. So just waiting around, hoping that people will come. You know, Dennis does a great job of going out there and putting the Max in front of everyone. We do purchase advertisements that are specifically for, you know, golf promotions, which are, you know, Texas Golf Insider. We do a group package, a group buy with Texas Monthly, and some of those spots are reserved, you know, for golfing promotion. Through the Winter Texan Connection, we've got Winter Texan Times, where we not only promote birding to our RVers and Winter Texans, but we promote the golf course as well. And that just doubles up as, you know, there are specific species of birds that you can only find at the course. And Dennis is also a really good, you know, leader and has become a birding expert. Knows how to make different calls.
He's already painted the pigeons. He's coloring
Yes.
the
All the red beak pigeon, right?
So
And
he's
it's-
coloring
it's
the
just
birds.
a pigeon with a red beak, but it's only native in that little area. So when the birds come afterwards, I ask them, what color do y'all want tomorrow? They're like, hey.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we do, you know, aside from Texas Monthly, there's Southern Living. There's a couple of websites that are
I'm sorry,
Texas.
what
yes.
was the one after, name it again, the second?
Texas Monthly and Southern Living?
Southern Living.
Yes.
Okay.
And you know, because they're already buys that we do as a whole for the calendar year, but we theme them out, whether it's birding, whether it's golfing, WDCA or sister cities, you know, but we do make sure to always include the Max there. We also have a couple of buys with the tourtexas.com, and you know, those are, you know, golf themed ads, you know, specifically for the Max. But you know, I mean, we do a lot, you know, for the course, and we see that it does bring back people, and it helps us out, you know, bringing those room nights from everyone that's heading to the course as well. And on our social media side, Dennis has been a great partner in that he's, what the CVB does, we have Visit Laredo, Texas on Facebook, and Visit Laredo on Instagram and Twitter, but we do giveaway packets. So we partner up with the hotel, with several shops around town, several restaurants and attractions. One of those attractions is the Max. So what they do, you know, is we build a weekend getaway for someone. We either gear some towards the Mexican market, or we gear some towards the US market. And, you know, when that winner is selected, you know, they can play a round of golf, they can go have dinner for two, lunch and breakfast at different locations throughout town, gift certificates to the outlets, and it's all, you know, compliments of the partners that we've gathered. And, you know, the Max is one of those for us. Then we do probably about a giveaway every other month. So those have proven, you know, to be very successful.
And to build upon that, they also do destination training,
Yeah.
which is a great mechanism for people from Laredo themselves that don't know about the Max. They work in these retail shops, hotels,
Yeah.
and all these other areas that now if somebody comes and says, is there a golf course here? Well, they know that there is one because they visited, they sat down there for
Yeah.
lunch.
Yeah.
So it's really good. And we've landed maybe 2 or 3 events from those people that have come by, whether it's a
Whether
birthday
it's a
party,
wedding or
Baby
yeah.
shower.
Do you all, at the golf course, do you all track where the people are coming from and how they heard about the Max? Do you all
Well,
do that?
we know the ones specifically that come on the bus from the
Right,
island.
but I'm
we
just
do-
wondering how much, you know,
Mhm.
how much of a bang we're
How
getting
much
out
crosses
of all of
over?
that.
Mhm.
Okay, I mean, we can for sure track the weekend
That'd be a
getaways,
good
you know,
thing,
because
I would
they
think.
are here.
Yeah, just to know how effective it is, you know?
Mhm.
Well, I've actually been to some courses in San Antonio where at the end of the round, you complete a survey, how did you hear about us? What was your experience? What do you think we can improve?
Great idea.
So maybe like a little bit of feedback from the golfers
Okay.
or from the people who have come from out of town. Okay,
Mhm.
what part of our advertisement is working?
Yeah.
And then, you know, if we find that there's a lot more business being made from that advertising, then maybe take away some from others and put more into that.
Yeah,
I don't
put in
know.
more.
Mhm.
The fam thing is the best thing we've ever done, was when we first decided to say, you know, cause you could tell them till you're blue in the face, this is a great golf course, this is a great golf course. Obviously, they all, oh, it's Laredo, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays with the drone, we took the drone this year, of the videos of the drones, and they were like,
Yeah.
we had the 65-inch TV behind us,
Yeah.
and, I mean, they were just blown away. That helps, but when we actually, the first time we did, we went and got 10 people, brought them, and they come and they're like, and then you take them back, that's when you start getting the calls, hey,
Yeah.
because we do buses, but we do a lot of people, hey, there's 14 of us coming in 3 cars, and we put them together in a package, and I think last year we probably got over 125 rooms at La Posada.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, that
And
was.
you've got a little package going on with La Posada
the
as
play
well
sh-
in the
the
outlets, right?
play, shop,
The
and stay.
Play, shop,
Yeah.
and stay.
So it helps because sometimes the ladies only wanna play one day or they don't wanna play, and they kinda don't let the guys come, but now that they know that there's outlets and all that, and then Fab takes them on a tour of I don't know where, but. They come back happy. I heard somebody
The
say,
real
yeah, I want
Laredo.
$500 with Fab, I was like, where'd you go? Thinking it was
Yeah.
They only
But,
have one group that wanted to do that.
yeah. So at least she gets a cut from the Maquinitos also. But no, they love it, you know,
Yeah.
they love Fab, they love coming up here, and
Yeah.
it's a vacation for them, and the best thing about them is that they have money to spend.
Yeah.
They're retired. I mean, you go to these RV parks and it's like Cocoon, the movie Cocoon.
It is.
People play shuffleboard and like without shirts and riding bikes, and you're like, what's going on? But it's really a fun experience for us, and I think we did it last week.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we're going back in January, so, you know, that always helps.
Now, is this something that we've done in the past?
We're going on
Well,
4 years now.
It's 4 years. We recently started looking at the Winter Texan as a huge market for, it's just 2-hour drive from the valley. And they, like Dennis mentioned, they have the money, the income, they have the time. So, you know, we found out about the event and the first event that we went was through the Chamber of Commerce, McAllen Chamber of Commerce. There was a smaller event, and then there's organizers of Winter Texans, kind of like outbeat the McAllen Chamber of Commerce, and so they did a bigger event, and so we were doing both of them. But the McAllen kind of said, you know what, it's not really working for us. We're actually losing money. We're not getting the traction. And since the Winter Texans, they already partner with all the RV parks. They do a program book. They do a lot of stuff, a lot of advertising. They have, like Selena mentioned, they do advertise. They have a newspaper that they send out strictly to all the RV parks. So this
The
year we
winter times.
we are advertising there as well. So it's just keep letting them know that we're here. We're 2 hours away. You could go for coffee. You could come for shopping. You could come for birding. So many things that Laredo has to offer as well. So, and then with the efforts of Dennis that he's been going over there with us, we've been able to bring golfers to come in, and then it's the word of mouth. They come back and they want to come every year. So, and just trying to get more people, because there are thousands of people that go to the valley for Winter Texans. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to hit everybody at once, but little by little with the efforts that we are doing and together with Dennis.
We know the feedback that we've received in the past in regards to the RVers is that Laredo lacks an RV
RV park.
facility.
Yeah, that's a problem.
So
we-
that's the thing, I mean, and there are some RV hookups at the lake, at Lake Casablanca,
But
but
the-
some of the roads there are too narrow.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've seen the RVs nowadays that are more modern, they're
Huge.
big monsters. So they don't pass through to get to where they have the hookups.
Yeah.
So the feedback that we get is that like, oh, we're parked in the valley, but we drove in.
Yeah. If
So-
we
Is
would
that
have-
something we can implement in our community
Well-
with a county or something to?
That's the idea, that if somebody, either the county or a private sector,
Yeah,
Casablanca, for example,
That-
that falls
that's,
under the county.
that would be
Yeah.
private.
That's-
isn't
yeah,
it?
private,
City,
if they,
Oh, okay.
because the connection's getting the water and sewer
Uh-huh.
and the electrical connections.
So there's an interest there.
Yeah.
I mean, if they'll still make
Clearly,
the drive
you
down.
guys are getting that kind of feedback in the valley.
Yeah, and they're like, no, we've got our RV up in McAllen
Yeah.
and Brownsville, and you know, we just drove on in, and it's interesting to hear that. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that, you know, or I would never have thought that we need to have a width wide enough for
Yeah.
these new.
Clearance.
Clearance,
Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah.
On, not related to the golf, but on the upstairs, I know we got a beautiful setting and a beautiful
Mhm.
view up there.
Mhm.
Is there a way that CVB do we reach out to companies to come have like conventions, even if they're non-golf, that we can
Yeah, so,
possibly host them
yeah,
there?
so that's what every conference that we have, and that's one of the top locations to have the event there. So obviously, you know, we work with Dennis a lot and we create a package and, we pitch that, you know, to use the ballroom upstairs.
Yeah, we had
for
the law
their-
enforcement agencies
yeah.
had a huge party that had, the LULAC.
The code
Had several
enforcement,
that They bring them, and that's the first thing they wanna know. They don't
Yeah.
have a golf course.
yeah,
And then, let's go see it, and then they see the golf course, and they're like, whoa, this is a
Yeah.
golf course. So it's been really good
yeah.
for that area as well.
But a non-golf, like, let's say they just wanna have
Yeah.
Yeah, we
A
take
workshop or,
Workshop, yeah.
you know, a seminar, a dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's something
So we
that.
do that. Obviously, it's the meeting planner that has to select, okay, this is what we wanna do. But we pitch it and most of the people kinda do select the golf course.
6 a.m. that's
Uh,
the time you.
yeah, so we've done, like, we brought in the code enforcement, conference and we had their closing reception there. So there were not this year, but last year, we brought in a big fam from Monterey. It was tour operators and media, and we actually did night golf. We did a virtual reality, the games of VR, and then they set up a really nice food for them, so they got a little bit of experience, and obviously these people, you know, they promote the golf course, so yeah, we always work with Dennis on any events that we could do. Obviously, the location where it is, being so close to the river, seeing a different side of Mexico, and, you know, so just, it's something, we did a photo shoot there, a lot of our meetings ads for this upcoming year, we did a whole photo shoot.
I didn't bring any printouts, and I can go ahead and email everyone here on the committee, because you
Yeah,
wanna just pass
but we
that
did
around.
a lot of great pictures there.
That's a meetings ad that specifically features the max, where it's
Mhm.
meet on the edge. And I mean, cause where else can someone have a meeting for their business and your backdrop is the Rio Grande?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that Laredo, that's unique here to
Yeah.
our location.
Mhm.
And what we did is, you know, we worked with Dennis on that, and it was an opportunity for us to go ahead and CVB picked up the bill for the photographer, for the talent, for the makeup. And we had a photo shoot out there, you know, both indoors and outdoors. And it's something that even, you know, the local talent that we used, they were just like, we had no idea there was a golf course.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So it's always doubling up as, you know, just promoting the max, whether it's, you know, gonna be out in a publication or even to the locals and just
Mhm.
making the locals aware that there's another course.
And
And we also featured you all in our Cine Minuto,
Mhm.
that's going to be,
When we were on Viva La Vida last year,
No, that's fine.
which is a show out of Monterrey that has, I mean, they're broadcast all around Latin America.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we had some bad weather, but remember they did the show out of upstairs.
Yeah.
And you have
Yeah.
people that have millions of followers on Instagram. I mean, they're on TV also. But you go to their Instagram, it's like 550,000 followers, and they were posting about our golf course. So it was really nice.
Yeah.
Got a lot of reaction for it.
Yeah.
And we just came back from Monterrey, Mexico for a press conference to promote Black Friday shopping. And in the Cine Minuto, which is a 1-minute commercial, a promo, it's going to be shown for 7 weeks at 9 different cinemas in Monterrey. And it's like the preview before the movie, you know, and, I can go ahead and, let's see, get this for you all. But this is something,
I know we can show it up there, but.
I know, what it is, I mean, it's basically a double promotion to show what Laredo has to offer and how you download our app, which is Visit Laredo TX, and you can build your itinerary of where you're gonna stay, where you're gonna go, where you're gonna shop, where you're gonna eat. We have the model that came in here, you know, she's playing a round of golf, she's going downtown Laredo, she's at the Water Museum. And the reason we wanted to specifically be a part of, you know, a purchase inside a cinema, because that aligns us with, you know, different brands. It brings us up to where they're next to Coca-Cola.
Pepsi.
You know, we're next to Pepsi, we're next to the big dogs.
Yeah.
So, and this is, you know, our campaign in Mexico is Laredo es increíble. And of course, we already have the audience because you're there waiting for your movie, so you can't go anywhere.
So they get to see
Right.
that video.
It's a nice piece.
So thank you.
Yeah, it's cute.
Thank you.
Yep.
So yeah, we're constantly always, you know,
Yeah.
promoting the golf course. Yes, sir.
Do y'all have kiosks in different areas, like say in the mall and other areas in town?
Not at the moment,
No?
but that
No.
is something that we've actually already purchased equipment for.
Uh-huh.
That we do wanna go ahead and place at the outlets and at Mal del Norte.
Yeah.
We just need to start figuring out the logistics and, you know, I guess I don't know, the how-to, 'cause what
Yeah.
was it?
Well, then you guys are also gonna be in the outlets now, you know,
Yes.
so that's gonna help us.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but if you've got something that says the max, and we're
Yeah.
not talking about other stuff, but
Yeah.
the max, and you beat them over the head until they say, hey,
Yeah.
The electronic billboards at the outlets have our logos and all that, so.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're working on a pride campaign, a local pride campaign as well. So, one of the things that we're gonna be doing together, we're working with our PIO office, and, it's working with the golf course and all the nonprofit organizations of really telling the people that next year we're gonna be celebrating, the 265 years of anniversary of Laredo, 185 years of the the Republic of the Rio Grande. So we're doing a marketing plan, we're gonna launch a lot of stuff, we're gonna design a logo. There's a lot of things that we're doing, for people that are locally here, that live here in Laredo, that say, I don't know about this, I don't know about that, so we're gonna we're gonna do ad buys, we're gonna be promoting every single event that there's a huge calendar that we're working on for next year. So, you know, the Max is one of the locations, you know, because they do a lot of events as well. So it's another way that we're gonna be promoting the Max for locally here, because our money's mostly it's spent out of town. You know, our funds are, since we're hotel tax,
There's certain policies
Yeah.
where we cannot spend monies inside the
Inside
city.
the city.
We need to spend it outside of Laredo
Mhm.
because those are the people that are gonna come in and stay in our hotels.
hotels, yeah.
So, you
So-
know, we're the only city department that functions differently in
yeah.
regards to city tax dollars
Yeah.
don't fund us.
Yeah.
So our spending is just a different manner.
That's
Yeah.
where you're able to go to Mexico. and
Yes,
other places.
Texas,
Exactly.
yeah, we do, yeah.
Is there any other places in Texas that you guys we have a presence to,
We go.
you know, to advertise?
Our stronghold is within the state.
Mhm.
We do mostly the southern region of the US. And, but, I mean, we've got digital boards that we purchased in the Rio Grande Valley, in Corpus, San Antonio, in Dallas, and Houston. And those are all contracts that have already been approved for this fiscal year. So they will be running for, the calendar year of 2020.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's also, you know, aside from leisure promotions, I mean, we do include golf, we do include meetings, and we do include special events.
Mhm.
And that's, electronic billboards are just so easy to switch out.
Yeah.
So it's easier for us to put like, you know, WBC Air Show or the Birding Festival, the Max,
Yeah.
just from one day to the next. So we gravitate towards digital.
Yeah.
Any questions for them before we
Yeah,
go to?
I do. How do you split your monies up for, you said, southern part of the United States? Are you spending more money in one area than the other, or is it all equally spent?
It's a mixture between, print advertising, digital
Uh-huh.
advertisement, and
I'm talking about the markets more, like San Antonio, y'all are mentioning the valley, that's great.
Mhm.
But it's colder up there, we want them down here.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's, up there is where we need to
For-
spend money.
yes, and that's where we do our national magazines. And usually within the state of Texas, there are different publications that we call lead generators.
Uh-huh.
So one of them, for example, is See Texas First. And that's distributed, you know, throughout the United States. And that's the southern region basically going from Texas to Florida up to like, maybe Kentucky. So it covers, you know, that whole area of the US. And what happens there is that, you know, the reader responds is, they go ahead and send us their emails, and we get a whole report from Madden Media, who's the company that puts that together, and they'll tell us, like, please add us to your e-newsletter list, or I'm going to Laredo, you know, what shopping areas do you have, or what restaurants do you recommend? So that's where we get the exact ROI from that buy. And aside from, you know, further up where it is really cold, that's where we go digital advertisements. So through Southern Living, through Texas Monthly, those are all digital ads, and I'm using those just right now because they're top of mind. But we do geo-targeting, where it's like, you know, I want people that are looking specifically for golfing, they're looking specifically for birding, you know, that they're winter Texans, that they want import shops, you know, they're looking for wrought iron, ceramics, just keywords that we know will, you know, track them a bit, you know, while they're surfing, you know, the internet.
And that's the beautiful thing of social media, like they can do that and I can do it for my social media too. So like right now, anything I wanna do regarding winter Texans, I can geofence Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And I get responses sometimes from people like, we'll be down in November, see you again, and it's like, whoa, it works.
Is there any way you get feedback, whether positive or other source, of you know, what kind of responses you're getting?
You know, through our social media channels, we actually have a lot of positive responses. And it's usually like, I love Laredo, Laredo's a great place. From people that physically go into our office, I tell everyone and my friends, you know, on a personal level, I go, y'all have no idea how nice Laredoans are. Like, cause everything is, the people are so nice here. Everyone smiles all the time and they're so helpful. And part of me is like, oh wow. Like, you know, I'm impressed. And, you know, we just had a couple, you know, last week that came in and they were from Australia. And they were like, you know what, we just decided that we wanted to tour all along the border of the US. And we saw that there was a little city called Laredo, so here we are. And we were like, okay, you know, open arms. You know, what are you looking for? What do you need? And where are you going? And, you know, their response was just, Laredo's great.
And it also gives you like a target as to where you can emphasize more.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, we will get a negative response, like, oh, it's so boring, there's nothing to do. But it's so funny how everyone starts chiming in and defending Laredo.
Yeah.
Well, if you had a bad experience, why didn't you tell the owner? Or why didn't you do this? Or like, Laredo's a great place, like, you know, you're the one, they, you know, they start their little comment wars. But I mean, I think now we've come a long way from where people were scared to come down here. I think that cartel violence is no longer top of mind. I know now the topic is the president and the wall, and people are just wondering, like, well, where's this wall gonna be? Like, remember the writer that came in, was he from Europe or?
There was one from Europe and then there was one from Colorado.
Yeah, well, the European guy. And he was just so like, well, where's the wall gonna be? And he's like, can you take me to the river? And can you take me to here? He's like, I don't understand how it's gonna work. So I was just like, you know, we're just following federal regulations. Like, that's out of our hands.
That's a misconception that
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that there's cartels.
This
would be a huge wall.
But it's
I wish
no
there was
more,
plexiglass.
are you all lawless? You know, are you all in Mexico? That is no longer the issue. It's how are y'all gonna do it once the wall gets built? It's like, well, we'll just have to deal with that when it comes.
Well, I know it's in Colombia to the other side, but I always tell the people that ask me, it's gotta be plexiglass there, guys.
They're gonna give us a code.
Will my golf ball bounce offset plexiglass and onto the green? If that's the case.
That's gonna be bonus points, you know?
Mario Kart.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you all.
You're welcome.
Let's hear from finance. We wanna go ahead and, do you have any questions for them, or we're gonna look at them there? I'll let you start, sir, and then we'll ask questions as we go, if you don't mind.
Finance, so basically, we have a management contract with Landscapes Unlimited, so they in charge of running the facilities. They're in charge of collecting the revenue, reporting the expenses. So every month they'll send us their monthly reports, the other to us, and then we'll be recording in our ledgers. And so every month, I think they usually operate at a loss, so the city contributes a contribution, that way we could be net zero.
Okay, so, the committee had asked me about a little fund that is there, put away for the max. But if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, is that every time that they don't meet the finance, then we've been getting from that fund to cover the cost, is that correct? Is that,
I don't know, is that fund extended, because the fund we're familiar with is for the capital improvements.
okay,
That's
okay.
one that we're
Capital improvements, that's what they do.
Yeah, and I think that was, is that one available, is that one, is that?
Yeah, that one,
its own?
I think on the contract it said that they collect $1 for every round. That's correct.
Yeah, and then landscapes gives you the dollar and then it gets
Yeah.
put there, but it hasn't been touched in several years, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. What is the total?
It's right about 99,000.
Actually, I have it here.
Yes.
Oh.
We like that.
Oh, good.
99,790.
We like
How much?
that a lot.
99,790.
Well, after this month.
You get a lot of bunkers for that.
Yes, man.
Let me just put in my raise email.
Yeah.
No, but that's good to know. I mean, we've been talking about that. I don't know, when Gary was here, we mentioned it. Well, let's see where it's at or whatever. But I mean, that helps if we ever need to get into. Because as we're getting older, that's one thing that we started putting in 2 years ago into our budget was a capital improvements plan in there. And it shows exactly what we wanna do with the monies coming up. One of them was the bunker construction, one of them was getting Tom some, equipment that he didn't have, and some stuff for Lorenzo, because when it first started out, it wasn't gonna be a banquet hall, and now it is, and there's things that, Lorenzo's very creative and gets away with certain things, but once we get to the point where, now we're doing, I think it's 18 to 20 weddings a year. Just in October, we have 3 in November, and then March and April, February, same thing, because those are the busy months for us.
How much do you make off a wedding?
It depends, anywhere from 6 to 15,000, and if it's a $6,000 wedding, it takes us maybe 5-6 employees to do it, so it's not bad.
Mhm.
We've been doing a lot of outdoor weddings recently, because just the weather, and people saw we posted one of an outdoor wedding, and now everybody wants an outdoor wedding, which, now I'm a wedding planner, but I'll take it.
Beautiful location for it.
Watch a lot of TLC now.
A lot of yes before the, yes for the dress or.
Like, what you doing? That doesn't go with my decoration.
So from that fund, you can use for improvement, we can use for
With
improvement.
equipment and golf
Yeah,
course improvement.
exactly.
So that is available?
Yeah, we just see for the city manager approvals once in a while.
Yeah.
If you wanna
Okay.
proceed on it, we'll present it to the city manager and they'll give you the okay.
I know, JJ, we spoke about.
40,000.
Right.
But
Yeah, exactly,
I like this
specifically
number
that.
better.
Yeah.
What happened there?
So I've already sent an email out to city managers. I was trying not to touch that. I didn't know about that.
Right.
And I'm trying to.
This is
and
great news for
And I
the
don't want to
committee.
tell them because I might be pulling some strings that we be able to get to 40,000, 30,000 for sand, for the sand replacement, and 10,000 for the building. That's why I call it Ruthie. 10,000 for the building
Shades and-
maintenance, right? So I'm not gonna tell them we have, but I'm trying. Robert Eads and Mr. Gilbert Sanchez is trying. We're trying to find something where we can pull some money out soon.
Yeah.
So if we can go maybe half and half it, we go 2020 or something like that. That we can start reaching.
Get yourself 2 more plates to go.
So and I know he wants some equipment for the mowers and all that stuff. We need to get to fix those also. Yeah, so we need to start maybe using into that. And I know you've had a good last couple of months with more rounds in there. So hopefully that will be bringing more income and
Yeah.
and
The
maybe.
country club has opened and we've seen a little bit of a decline,
Yeah.
because naturally they're paying for their membership and having to pay out of pocket. So it's just, but we just landed and it's still not, but the Border Olympics College, because they don't know if they'll be ready. They're gonna bring it up to their board because they feel that they won't be ready for March when they do the big guns. You're talking about Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Iowa State and all those big schools, so that would be fun for us, so that it could showcase the mass
Yeah.
to, these big Division I schools.
That's the way to do
Speaking
it.
of that, Dennis, how do we compete with that? How
It's
do we
for-
lure the colleges, the universities
Well,
to come over to the
there is a
CR?
lot of, the
Behind the scenes?
behind the scenes stuff where the members have been doing it for, 30 years now, 20 years since they moved from Casablanca over there. So there's a lot of, you know, it's theirs. I mean, we're not gonna try it. We started with the high school golf. They let us in one day, now we do high school, now we do the women's high school, we have hosted all. So it's, you know, not trying to, you know, step on any toes, because we're all one family here. And they do a great job hosting it. It takes a lot of manpower, you know, but now with the help of, you know, Parks and Rec, and that's what I was gonna call you as soon as they make the decision final, because there is a lot of logistics that goes into it. I know the city of Laredo, Parks and Rec can handle it, but, yeah, it's a great thing for us to be able to present
And
this.
just, not just to showcase, but just to see a different venue.
Well, and you know, hopefully
Right,
moving
that's-
forward, you know, maybe it turns out to where it's a 2-day event. So why couldn't it be one day over there, one day over
Exactly.
here?
There you go.
And the golfers get a best of 2 great golf courses, you know, and then Laredo
Very
becomes more of a, man, there's good golf courses over there. So, you know, I just don't like to be overzealous and, you know, push, because then you step on people's toes that they put all the hard work in it for the past 20, 25 years. But if we can have a little piece of it just to showcase Laredo and the Mats, you know, obviously we're here for them. And that's what I told them, we're here for whatever you need. We'd love to host it. Who knows, you know, maybe in the next year, you know, we get a day of it or something. That's how it started with the Jack Brown. Now we host the Jack Brown. This is Division 2, but now I think Rudy just sent me, we have about 21 schools coming. But the first year we came, I mean, we made them prime rib. The lady, the little girl was like, she said a bad word, and the coach was like, cause they're like, what are you serving us, pasta again? And they're like, no, there's gonna be prime rib. She goes, you must be blah, blah, blah. And the coach is like, hey, well, yeah, they're serving us prime rib. You know, but you do little things like that you know that the players, cause I was a player, when you go somewhere, you remember the food and the golf course.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's a lot of, you know, good stuff coming down the pipeline. So we'll probably work a little bit with you guys, because these are all out of town, you know, so that we leave a very, very good impression. And the country club already does a great job, but, you know, we can also do our part.
These statements of the, so it's October 30,
Yeah,
October
our
31st.
fiscal year kicked in
Yeah,
October
they came
1st.
in, they have like 15 days or total, then at the end of the month.
Mhm.
Do you have anything else for finance or that we need to? So I guess the question was answered, that there is some money in there, you know, so. As long as, again, it's for use for equipment and.
It's all general
Yeah.
capital.
General
And
capital.
then the.
And for every round of golf, you still put some money in there?
$1. It's $1 for every round of golf. I've had some people get mad at me when I'm doing it. It's a city ordinance. So that's what I tell them all the time. That's what Horacio told me back in the day. It's a city ordinance, they have to pay. But, you know, we got money in there now for stuff like this, since we're getting into 7 years, 8 years now, the golf course. There'll be things that are gonna come up, sprinkler lines, pump houses, stuff like that, and that's what it was the intention. So it's good news.
Okay. Anything else, gentlemen? Questions for finance? Okay. On my end, before I pass it, I was gonna tell you this, what I just told you right now is that I have the status on my money. We've already, I've already communicated with city managers. We're gonna try and find those 40,000 so we can move on it quick, sooner than later. Just look for a response. Again, not knowing about this money, and I'm gonna try not to tap into that, so you can say, I didn't hear anything, so we can try to move some money around that we have in reserve, so we can come help out. And the main reason I put there is for, to improve it, to make it a championship course, so that we can attract more people. We have more people that are coming now because of the country club was closed, so, you know, we wanna make it, keep making it more attractable, and that was, and to fix the sand bunkers, of course, you know. And Robert East, our city manager, knows very well about them. He's always playing in there.
He
so.
has first-hand experience.
So yeah, so I think, I'm not gonna do any promises, but I think it's already in the works, and hopefully we can find something out, okay, so. And then, I know, we talked about a mower that we wanna look into.
Yes.
¿Qué costaba?
I think it breaks down to monthly payments. It's like $30,000, but the monthly payments, we're gonna be able we finished a lease agreement on some equipment we had, which is like $375 a month.
Mhm.
So this was just gonna take place of that, but that was so, you know, come March, you know, we need a mower and because our equipment is up in about August of next year.
Okay.
But, you know, with this March coming in April, that's our busy, you know, our growing season, so we could get a mower ahead of time, being offset by that monthly cost that we got rid of. And then maybe adding a greens mower, the other one's a rough mower. We'd be set, and then obviously in August, you know, we would redo the whole thing again. rest of the equipment. But, like we did with Club Car, they're kind of as eager to sell us new equipment as we are as to buy it. So maybe they let us get out of the other lease with no penalties or whatever, flip it over, and now we can get a whole new fleet, you know, come in March, April. But if not, we get those two items and then eventually, you know, get the renewal of everything else in August.
And you pay it out of your cost?
Yeah, that's part of our, all of that is in our budget line items and all that, and we send out the payment and so forth. So, like, the mower is really just, hey, we're done with one piece of equipment that we don't no longer have a payment. We already had it in our budget, and now this one's gonna take over that spot, no change in our budget. The green mower, we decided to go with it in March, April, which we'll need, because the one we have right now, it's been there for 8 years, since the growing. So normally you rotate them every 3 to 4 years, but for whatever reason, they hadn't. So it'd be nice to get that one in March, figuring out how to do it, but maybe these monthly payments can be offset from the general, capital contribution fund to hold us to August, and it's no big, you know, it's a small amount for those 5 or 6 month payments, but it helps Tom really get the course ready for the spring season. And especially if those kids from, all over the United States are gonna come, it'd be nice to have everything tip top.
So the application which you gave me, that's for
The mower.
the mower?
rough mower.
For the rough mower, but the green one is, that's something different you want?
Yeah.
But that all still comes out, what you want out of your expenses?
The only one that wouldn't at the time being would be the green mower.
Now, we could probably tap into that one, the money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because right now they have mowers, but they're push mowers hand,
Yeah,
which are
no,
great. But obviously, we don't have all the staff at the same times and all that to do it, so it takes them longer. So with this new one, they have one, but it's running on 2 cylinders, therefore it's always getting broken down. So when they get the new one, they'll be able to be faster, more efficient.
Right. Okay. All right, good. So that was on mine. So next, I got Mr. Ramon Chavez, he's our city engineer. We've been working a little bit with, we've been working with,
Got one
sure,
thing.
go ahead.
There's something before I forget, you just mentioned lack of people to do stuff. I was wondering if there could be like an apprentice program from high school or college things where we don't have to pay them, but they're learning a skill, and maybe they get credits in school for doing that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And this is manpower, and you're teaching somebody a new trade and all like that. Is there a possibility we could get into something like that?
Well, I mean, being that Texas A&M is an agricultural mechanics school,
Exactly.
so maybe we can set up a program. I know Incarnate Word and, who's the other school, Texas State, they have a program where you can not only learn a little bit about agronomy.
Yeah.
You also learn the whole business, how to run a golf course.
That's
how to
what I'm
run a
talking
tournament.
about.
Yeah.
That's good for them, let's do it here.
Yeah, so Incarnate Word has a very nice building at the Republic Golf Course right next door, and so does Texas A&M or Texas State. So it's something that we would have to get Tammy U involved, but I don't see why not, they have a golf team already.
What about the high schools?
Yeah, even with the high schools, I mean, look at what they're doing with all these schools that have the mechanic and engineering.
Well, how do we do that?
That'd be something.
If I can,
Yeah.
Ramon Chavez, I know that, sometime back at the city council level, there was some, discussion about a mentoring program.
Yes, sir.
In relationship with Tammy U, so maybe through that, maybe
Yeah.
just get with HR, cause I know we're trying to do the same thing at city engineering. Just trying to promote, more engineers and here with Tammy U, so I just asked my staff, this morning, we were talking about something similar and said, hey, let's get with Tammy U and see with HR, see through that, if there's already a mentoring program established, so we can tap into that maybe.
So like Mr. Pellegrin asked me what we could do, I said, well, why don't we bring this to the committee and set up an appointment for January or February, meet with the schools, within the high schools, because United has that
Yeah.
engineering program.
Yes.
So, meet with the schools, maybe just have one representative, just to get the ball rolling. That way, you know, it doesn't turn out like, well, what do we do? Well, talking to them, like somebody from TAMU, and maybe to UISD and LISD, and see if they're interested in something like that. And, I mean, there's a lot to offer as far as experience for their resumes when they go off to college.
We may have already something established with Tammy U, so you may
Super.
wanna check, with that.
I think it's great.
I'm gonna check with HR, so, I mean,
Okay.
if I find out anything, I can let you know.
Perfect. Let me know, and then I guess, we'll talk to Tammy U, and then I'll talk to Bobby Cruz. I deal with him all the time in the UISD athletic department, and see if it's something that they're interested, or who would we talk to. I don't know in LISD, I think it's Miss Sylvia Barrera.
let me know so we
Yeah,
could,
just to put
put
out,
our
hey,
next
you know,
meeting
this-
maybe for February.
This is what we've been thinking, would you guys mind coming over, and then maybe they can tell us, well, that's not even doable because there's certain things that can't be done. Or they say, yes, let's do it, and we get the ball rolling.
Good.
Okay, Ramon Chavez is our city engineer. I know as you all know, if you've been over there, it's starting to develop now. So I know, just get started. I know, a little preliminary talk, but I'll let him bring it to give a little update what's going on there. So.
Thank you for having me. JJ just wanted me to give a briefing to the committee, and I have something very simple here on my tablet. But it's basically a private development that's coming in, that's going through what we call the platting process. This subdivision called Las Islitas was presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission on August the 1st. And right now it consists of two phases basically. This is, I don't know if you can see it, but this is the main entrance coming from Mines Road over here. And you come in, they have 8 acres here, and then 8 over here, so it's 16 in total. They're coming in with phase 1 right now, which consists of 24 residential lots. The square footage on those varies from 9,000 square feet all the way to 15,000 square feet, so pretty big size lots. So phase 1 is 24 lots, phase 2 is 22 lots, and we're currently reviewing the infrastructure improvements. So it relates to water, sewer, streets, so that's going through the building department and the engineering department for review of those plans as we speak, so.
Are they gonna put curbs in there?
I'm sorry?
Curbs? Is it gonna be
Curb
curbs or is
and
it gonna
gutter?
be no curbs?
No, curb and gutter, it's part of the development.
Excellent. Super.
Yes, yeah, no, they have to comply with all the city ordinances, basically, so that's the review that's going on right now, and we're discussing some of those with their engineers, so.
And is that the property that's on the 17th home?
Yes.
Okay. I saw a sign that I think it was Switzer.
Yeah, Switzer.
Are they selling plots?
Yeah, they're
already?
the ones that are already,
Right.
yeah.
So right now
Have
they
they sold any?
Supposedly they've sold like 6 or
They've
7.
already, people have already written.
Oh, wow.
So right now they received the permit to clear the land, which is something that has to
Right.
go through us, so that they've cleared some of it. The ones that these plans receive approval from the city of Laredo, then they'll go into the construction of the infrastructure basically, so.
And the entrance to the subdivision
It's going pretty.
will be through the same entrance as we're using
Well,
currently, or?
it'll be that same entrance, but then when you turn left, they're gonna mock it. They're gonna do it. It's almost gonna be very similar. They showed us it last time they were here.
A rendering.
And the rendering is really nice.
Wow.
So yeah, it's gonna. I mean, they're gonna keep it high quality.
So again, right now they're going through the review process as far as the improvements is
Yeah.
concerned, so. Just wanted, JJ asked me to
Yeah,
just,
wanted to-
brief the committee on provide an update on what was going on, so.
I'm gonna bring them every weekend, every month. So
Whose property is that, Dennis? Is that, whose property is that?
Mr. Jacobs.
Mr.
Well, he
Jacobs.
sold it already to the developer,
Okay.
but it's gonna be nice.
Premier Properties over in.
You know, and they talked about maybe building a spec and all that. I told them, well, if you build it, why don't you let us use it for Airbnb for winter Texans? for
So
all
they
the-
can stay close to
Oh,
the-
yeah, that'd be,
So-
I mean, I'd stay there sometimes during the
Yeah,
weddings.
yeah.
That's where-
That's so
weddings.
exciting. Instead of getting an 18
On the other side of the road, one of the talks that they're talking about is having Airbnb or villas,
Yeah.
so that people can stay there and play golf and, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like I told you, I think I went to play at the, God, over there by Blanco,
Sure.
right by Blanco, Texas, by Blanco, Texas. And you go to the course there and they have little cottages, and you stay there, they have little barbecue pits and everything, and you stay there,
A weekend out.
a community swimming pool.
Yeah.
What's it even called? The one at the course by Blanco, Texas, beautiful. And you stay there. There's people play golf, stay there, cook out, get up the next morning, play another round of golf. You know, and they're about 8 or 10 villas.
Yeah, so if we would get that, that would be a hit with the winter Texans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what they want to build on the opposite side, of the houses.
Even for our
Oh,
weddings,
okay.
it would be a big hit because a lot
Yeah,
of times they're
I
like.
don't wanna drive that.
Right.
Especially if they're drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. High school teams, I don't know,
High school team.
because they save an hour in sleep, because sometimes the kids are practicing the day before, and then they gotta be back by 5:30, they gotta be on the
Yeah.
road.
So yeah, they want to build about 8 to 10 villas. That's what they want to build.
That'd be nice.
Yep. On the opposite side. That's phase 2. Phase 2 will be on this side of the road. No.
It's all together.
No, it'll be the
No,
same
no,
thing.
but on the other side of the road, on the west side of the road, that's where they wanna build some villas there along later on, so hopefully that'll work out. Okay, gentlemen, committee member, anything you want us to discuss, anything we need to bring up for next, I apologize, we haven't done a quorum, but I know next month, we're not scheduled for a meeting, is that correct?
Santa Claus.
Correct, Santa Claus, okay, so the next one will be January, have we come up with a date,
Not yet.
do we wanna vote on that? Oh, we can't vote, we don't have a quorum. Would it be keeping it what, we've been keeping it the second,
Wednesday of the month, six today, because of.
That would be
Wednesday.
January the eighth? Oh, I'm sorry, yep,
the second Wednesday of the month?
of January.
We're probably more
January.
towards the middle, no, because I think
Yeah,
people are
let's-
still
yes,
out of town.
Let us do more towards the middle,
15?
the 15th.
The 15th?
Yeah, just send it out.
Anything that you want to add?
I think
add to
Dennis,
the-
that day won't work, cause you're gonna be over there in McAllen.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yes.
15th?
But I
Yeah.
mean,
That's the one.
yeah, we do have 14th and 15th.
Yeah.
14th.
But, I mean, if you guys need to have it that day, have it that day. Oh, no, yeah.
We'll change it just for you guys.
Okay.
What day would be better? What day would be better?
Well, I guess,
I mean-
well, we could do it the 16th, on the Thursday like we did today.
Okay.
We'll be back by the
When you
Thursday.
come back.
Yeah. Mhm. I'll do it. Yeah.
16th,
Yes.
January 16th.
And we'll, maybe we'll have to bring you guys back again.
I was gonna suggest that, if we
Yeah.
can bring you back in,
Yeah.
so we can, you know,
Get Mr. Jacobs and Rick, they were the ones with the questions as well, so we can, you'll have a better explanation.
It'll be great news for everybody, because we had already kind of said, oh, they,
Yeah.
what Mr. Jacobs said, well,
Right.
no, we don't wanna pick a fight right now, we just wanna,
Right.
make sure that we're getting help from Parks and Rec, which we are. I mean, Ruth's been great. I mean, we've been using the light towers and all that
Mhm.
stuff, so it helps us.
On our end, now that I'm in this position, gentlemen, he knows we're a phone call away, and whatever we can to alleviate his expenses, that, we're there, and my office knows that the Max is my second girlfriend, I guess. It used to be Unitree, but now there's turf, so I can't take care of the grass there, but, it's anything that I can help, where we can help on our end, he knows we're just a phone call away, and, well, that's the Max, that's the City of Laredo, we gotta go out there and help them out, this Max stuff, and it's all part of us, it's all, they represent us, and that's what I wanna change that mindset, that we're there to help them, so. But we're gonna get it better, and hopefully we can continue making it more attractive. I still say it's the jewel of the South,
Oh, yeah.
and, an uncle of mine that came down to play, just real quick, he lives in Dallas, and he's got a Wednesday group, they play golf, retired guys, they play about 40 to 50 guys, hadn't even told Dennis this. And he keeps on boasting about, nobody else hit the Max and Rail, so get ready, because they're gonna come back around mid-January, February, about 40 or 50 of them that wanna come down and go, so. Because the best advertisement is your word of mouth.
Oh,
yeah.
And I think that's. and
Once they
golfers
see it,
and-
they play it.
Oh, yeah, and again, I can relate it as a coach, because me as a coach, I'm gonna go find, first thing I'm gonna look, I don't care if they get trophies, I don't care how the restaurants are, I don't care how are the fields. And that's the first thing you're gonna look at, you build fields, nice fields, you'll bring them from anywhere, but, so that's the first thing, that's why I wanna change that mentality to that. You keep a nice golf course, you'll have people from all over the place to come play, so, hopefully we can move on that, so. But, so we'll, January the
16th.
16th,
Thursday.
Thursday, we'll be there, we'll meet there, God willing, and,
I'll contact finance.
Finance VP, thank you for joining us.
And it's a good meeting, guys.
Yeah,
Finance.
Y'all can get a trip to Vegas, you get in there, come on. No, but, really appreciate that.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's plenty
Plenty of food.